What if I told you that greatness doesn't always wear a cape? Sometimes it wears a jersey soaked in sweat, knees bent low, eyes locked in, waiting for a move that never comes. These aren't just defenders. They are guardians of momentum, disruptors of destiny. In this episode, we explore the next 5 legends, defenders who patrol the hardwood with discipline, defiance, and deception. Welcome to episode 2 of our 5-part series, The Top 25 Defenders in NBA History. Today, we spotlight ranks 20 through 16. 5 more Warriors who knew that the best offense was their defense. Number 20, Michael Cooper. Michael Cooper wasn't flashy. He didn't need to be. His defense spoke volumes. In an era where the Lakers dazzled with showtime, it was Coop who put on the hard hat. Tasked with guarding the best scorer night in and night out, Cooper made 8 all-defensive teams and won the 1987 Defensive Player of the Year award, a rarity for perimeter players. His battles with Larry Bird are the stuff of legend. Bird once said, "Cooper was the best defender I ever faced." That's not just praise, that's gospel. Cooper knew Bird's moves, cut off his space, and forced one of the greatest shot makers ever into uncomfortable positions. His length, anticipation, and lateral movement gave him an edge no one else had. Beyond Bird, Cooper rotated onto scorers like Julius Erving and George Gervin, and frustrated them too. His signature move? The Koopa Loop block, timed perfectly from behind, coming out of nowhere to snuff out fast breaks. Magic Johnson once said, "We couldn't win those championships without Coop. He was our defensive conscience." His legacy lives on in every modern 3-and-D wing. Michael Cooper was the prototype. Cooper's defensive value was recognized not just by teammates, but by opponents. Charles Barkley once said, "When Coop was on the floor, you knew it was going to be a fight to get a clean look." Even in practice, Pat Riley would pit Cooper against the team's best scorers to sharpen their edge. Coop didn't take plays off, and neither did the players he guarded. That mentality is why he's revered today as one of the greatest perimeter defenders in NBA history. Number 19, Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley isn't for everyone. He talks, he pokes, he flops. But behind the antics lies a relentless competitor with a deep love for the craft of defense. He earned his way into the NBA through grit, not hype. After going undrafted in 2009, Beverley took his talents overseas before finally getting a shot with the Rockets. His breakout moment came in the 2013 playoffs, when he hounded Russell Westbrook into an ACL tear during a steal attempt. It was controversial, but emblematic of his never-let-up energy. Throughout his career, Beverley's matched up against Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and even LeBron James, and made his presence felt. In the 2020 playoffs, Kawhi Leonard called him the head of the snake for the Clippers' defense. He brings chaos, but it's calculated. He's made 3 all-defensive teams and earned universal respect from peers. Chris Paul once said, "He's a dog. I hate playing him. That's why I respect him." Beverley's legacy isn't about numbers. It's about pressure. And pressure makes stars blink. In the 2021 play-in tournament, Beverley's on-ball pressure against the Golden State Warriors forced early turnovers that disrupted Steph Curry's rhythm. Analysts credited Beverley's ball denial as one of the reasons the Clippers advanced. His defense isn't just emotional, it's impactful. Even when he's not guarding the primary scorer, he's directing traffic, rotating early, and communicating loudly. His defensive IQ is often overshadowed by his antics. But make no mistake, Beverley is one of the smartest defenders in the league. He studies film, anticipates tendencies, and is always ready to dive on the floor to make a play. Love him or hate him, Patrick Beverley makes your star uncomfortable. And that's why he belongs on this list. Number 18, Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson's game didn't always show up on the stat sheets, but his impact? Undeniable. DJ was a defensive linchpin for both the Seattle Supersonics and the Boston Celtics. He won the 1979 Finals MVP and made 9 all-defensive teams. What made DJ special was his poise in the biggest moments. In the 1984 Finals, he shifted the series against the Lakers by locking in on Magic Johnson and disrupting their rhythm. That Celtics team, loaded with legends like Bird and Parrish, leaned on DJ when the pressure peaked. Magic himself called DJ the best defender I ever played against. Coming from a man who faced the likes of Michael Cooper, Sidney Moncrief, and Gary Payton, that speaks volumes. His ability to guard both guard positions, rotate smoothly, and anticipate without gambling made him a coach's dream. When he retired, Larry Bird said, "The best teammate I ever had." That's what defense does. It builds trust. Dennis Johnson was trust personified. In the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals, DJ's help defense and perimeter coverage on players like Joe Dumars and Vinnie Johnson helped Boston survive a grueling 7-game series. He made clutch steals and forced bad shots late in tight games. It's moments like these that are often overlooked, but define careers. DJ's legacy is layered. He was the guy who gave scorers nightmares and teammates peace of mind. His jersey now hangs in the rafters at TD Garden, not for his scoring, but for his impact. He is remembered not just as a great Celtic or Sonic, but as one of the game's most reliable, cerebral defensive minds. Number 17, Nate McMillan. Nate McMillan never sought the limelight, but on the court, he was always 2 steps ahead. Nicknamed Mr. Sonic, McMillan built a career out of understanding the game on a cerebral level. He was a defensive commander, organizing his teammates like a point guard and executing schemes with surgeon-like precision. In the 1996 Western Conference Finals, McMillan's presence helped Seattle contain a prime Hakeem Olajuwon and frustrate the Rockets' backcourt. Gary Payton may have been the star, but it was Nate who held the defensive blueprint. Teammates often credited McMillan with calling out rotations and coverages before coaches could. His 2.0 career steals average and multiple seasons with over 200 steals speak to his instincts. But what's more telling is how he shut down pick and rolls. Not with athleticism, but pure IQ. He was always in the right place at the right time. George Karl said, "He coached while playing. I trusted him more than some assistants." That trust followed McMillan into his coaching career, but it started on the defensive end as a player. In the 1993 playoffs, McMillan was assigned to slow down Kevin Johnson, one of the fastest guards in the league. Using body positioning, quick hands, and savvy footwork, he disrupted KJ's dribble and forced Phoenix to alter their offense. The Sonics advanced, and Nate's effort was one of the quiet reasons why. McMillan's influence goes beyond stats. His leadership is now visible in how he coaches teams to value defensive accountability. Atlanta's playoff run in 2021 had his fingerprint: ball pressure, closeouts, and defensive unity. That all started during his playing days, when McMillan wasn't the loudest, but often the smartest defender on the floor. Number 16, Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett was defensive poetry in motion, but with volume, loud, brash, and brilliant. KG brought energy and accountability to every team he touched. He made the All-Defensive team 12 times and won the 2008 Defensive Player of the Year, anchoring a Celtics defense that finished number 1 in defensive rating. In the 2008 Finals, Garnett's communication on defense was so intense that Doc Rivers said he was like having a middle linebacker out there, calling out sets before the other team did. His ability to hedge high on screens, switch onto wings, and recover to protect the rim changed the geometry of the floor. He was the vocal leader for an elite defense that included Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. But they all knew Garnett set the tone. Teammates like Kendrick Perkins and Rajon Rondo credit KG for teaching them how to think defensively. His intensity was never performative, it was purpose-driven. LeBron James once admitted, "KG pushed me more than anyone else, mentally, physically, emotionally." And that's why Garnett isn't just a great defender, he's an all-time culture shifter. One of KG's most iconic defensive moments came in Game 6 of the 2008 NBA Finals, where his constant talking and rotations neutralized the Lakers' offense. Every cut was met with a body, every screen a hedge, every drive a contest. He closed that game with 26 points and 14 rebounds, but his defensive intensity set the tone. Doc Rivers once said, KG changed the definition of a leader. He didn't care if he scored. He cared if we got the stop. In today's NBA, players like Draymond Green carry the Garnett torch. Vocal, versatile, and vicious. KG is not just a Defensive Player of the Year. He's a foundational figure in modern defense. These were defenders who not only locked you down, they made you question your next move. Michael Cooper held down Bird, Dr. J, and Gervin on a nightly basis. Patrick Beverley's aggression became an identity. Dennis Johnson guided two dynasties with cerebral excellence. Nate McMillan played chess in a game full of checkers. And Kevin Garnett, he turned intensity into doctrine. Each one changed their team's culture. Each one was the defender coaches dreamed of. The kind who didn't just guard, they led. In Episode 3, we get closer to the defensive pantheon, the ones whose names still echo in every blocked shot, every lockdown possession, every clutch stop. This is defense. They weren't always the headliners. They didn't chase the box score. But when the game was on the line, these 5 defenders made the difference. They held leads. They sparked comebacks. They defined trust. Their impact lives on in every closeout, every switch, every defensive huddle. The fingerprints of their legacies are etched into the game's evolution. This list isn't just about defense. It's about those who demanded accountability. This is Legacy. This is Episode 2.